under the category. They are published. They can publish both journals, articles, and anything else. So now these are two information that I just am seeing, and this is the volume of this publication and the page number from 22 to 28. In this journal, in this issue, this paper is located in this range 22, page number 28. And also you can see the other highlights and also keywords and the other information about this journal, this paper. You can also see the export. This is for your referencing citation of your maybe you are using EndNote, you are using like Mendeley and others. You can easily export this citation to the software that you are using. It is EndNote, it is Mendeley, and others, anything else. But as we suggested, we use Mendeley, which is free software, this full software. Because EndNote is not free and must pay for that. I used to work with EndNote. I got many difficulties that I knew that is Mendeley. I'm really happy to work with Mendeley, and I also suggest you to use it. And you can see here more information about this. So maybe the full text of this paper is not available. Let's try another paper that is here. You can see this is the PDF file of this paper. Easily I can click on that. See, because you want to download this sort of paper from just general searching, you must pay for that. But through this library, you can download. Since I already downloaded this, and you can save it in the computer. Now, once I downloaded it and I save it in my computer, I can also enter this full text in my Mendeley library. Unfortunately, I don't have something in this laptop, but as I said yesterday, you can watch also use it in this website. You can watch it if you can instruct you how to use Mendeley. Let me search, show you. So how about other saying the process of search the same. You must have keyword research. This website you can download this. We have really download it.
Can we have a look at Tankscope? We saw
Okay.
And I'm already.
How you can log into this page? Again, this is I use this database as direct. There are other databases you can serve.
But we can use Tankscope then.
Any of them in this library you can use. Like this one, for example.
Yeah, that's the Tankscope.
First of all, when you go to Mendeley, let's upload it. When you go to Mendeley, you can create an account, like create an account on any social network like Facebook or any others. And based on that, you can download the software and install it. And you can see download Mendeley here. You can download it and install. You can use the same password that you made or to make your page. As I said, it has two approaches. One is the desktop, and another is the web platform. In the web platform, you can share your paper with others. You can also comment other people, like same activity you do in your Facebook. In the web platform, you can do it. You can make your own profile and everything. And but in desktop, you can easily run this desktop version, and you drag and drop your paper in the library and use it later on. Okay. As you see here, also we have same story. We can enter your keywords, office name, and so on. You can see enter a bank name or an index number. You can see also you can search. But the bank scope, I normally don't use it, but that's why it's something new for me as well. But you can see the logic is the same as other searching machine or other databases. You can see there are favorite searching as you can see, and maybe suppose that you want to search any article, also maybe the category, bank name, and status, whatnot. Have you worked with this one? This is
A long
something new
time
for me
ago.
as well.
No, I have worked with it a long time ago, but now we need it for the financial figures, for the ratios, specifically the right side, but I'm
Yeah, you can access through this library. You can download. There's no
the
worries
question
about
is,
it.
okay, how we extract that?
Okay, good. But normally, researchers they use Science Direct, which is very strong database. Whatever paper you need, you can download from it. Also, Scopus. This is a brief about searching in a journal. I hope you enjoy it. But anyway, Professor Dr. Friends here. We are going to enjoy from it. Definitely has many things more for you today. I would like to also invite him to come and present for you whatever he prepared for you. Thank you so much.
Okay, very good morning to all of you. So just pass this around. before I could move on to the chapter here, I would just like to share with you some of the business outlook. I believe almost half of the class here, you are still in the midst of looking for your topic or finalizing your topic or strengthening your topic, right? So while you are in that phase, it's also good for you to understand what is actually happening in the business environment today. Maybe you can relate some of it. So this article is actually from KPMG, a consulting group of latest 2016, how the business environment is going to be and what are the challenges and so on. So let us just look at it. Okay, I hope all of you have a copy of it. So you have a copy. All of you got a copy? Okay, let's look at some of the key findings. For this 2016. Actually, about 1,000 of companies have been researched and the CEOs' feedback has been obtained. Some of the key findings are the CEOs are optimistic on the economy. 62% of CEOs are more confident than last year, than 2015, on the growth perspective for the global economy over the next 3 years. With only 6% are less confident. The rest are very confident. So 62% of the CEOs of the world, top companies, about 1,000 over respondents for this research, confirms that they find that the next 3 years the economy is going to look good. Okay? Forget about just looking at narrowing down to Malaysia. I'm referring to the global. So it's China, US. So that's one. 59% aggressive. We need to say companies are now going to focus on growth strategy. That means growing, not only doing business inside, but also growing outside the country, outside their home. Maybe looking at the new, what we call international markets. Okay, so let's look a little bit detail on what actually this means. The 89%. Asked to identify their organizational priorities for the next 3 years, the greatest number of CEOs identified developing new growth strategies. Okay? And geographic expansion. Geographic expansion means international business. Going out of the home and looking into a new geography. Okay? So maybe the rethinking Asia will be the next focus. Yeah? With the 4 countries that just signed up in December 30th, 2015. That will be the next focus. Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and Myanmar, right? Getting into the ASEAN phase, right? And that is going to be the top priorities. 37% categorize the growth strategies as very aggressive. Now, there are a lot of strategies while growing business, right? So 37% say their growth strategy is very aggressive, meaning to say they're going to invest heavily. Okay? And maybe they come up with new models of growth strategy rather than thinking about franchising, rather than thinking about licensing. That's all growth strategies. Licensing, franchising, these are all growth strategies. Maybe they're thinking beyond that. Maybe like partnering, a new business model. Maybe like partnering rather than franchising and licensing, so maybe something new. So that's what they call as aggressive. If 37% say they're going to be aggressive in the growth strategy. The next key finding is 41% mix of both organic and inorganic growth. Organic and inorganic growth. A growing number see an acquisition in the future. That means buying over. Okay, buying over, acquisition, acquiring another entity, right? Buying over. So big number sees that acquisition is one of those areas. Okay, nearly half of the CEO, 48% of the total respondents, experts and expect an acquisition will change their firm's capital structure. So by acquiring another firm, even the capital structure will change. What is capital structure? What is capital structure? Finance guys, you should know what is capital structure.
How much equity?
How much of share or equity or interest we have in the firm. Yeah? So that structure will change. That's why I say it's not a matter of licensing, franchising, and so on. It goes beyond that. You know, it just goes beyond that. You know, maybe a capital structure of maybe this emerging market. The government itself will have equity. The government will have equity. Last week I visited Sarawak, talking to them about university expansion and so on. They are talking about Kertih and Swinburne, which are already in Sarawak, and the reason why they're supporting Kertih and Swinburne versus the university in what is called West Malaysia is because the state government has got equity in the capital structure. Now, all this while I thought Kertih and Swinburne was independent university in Sarawak, but actually no, they've got an equity. The government has got an equity. So of course, when they have a capital structure invested, the capital is inside there. Definitely, they will focus more. Okay, so that's what here. And what is organic growth? And what is inorganic growth? Organic growth means what? What is organic? Growing from within the company, inside the company. Okay? Inorganic growth means acquisition, merger, and concept. So these are all the new words. Now, when you're writing your statement, this is statement or problem statement. These are the things that you need to put in to make your statement strong. Whether your PhD is in IT or your PhD is in transport logistics or in business, you put all those words. Rather than talking about what people say about acquisition and merger, A&M and all of this, people are tired of those words. So you have to use this kind of new jargons. New jargon, these are all new jargons. New jargon actually mean the same, right? Yes. Rather than just internally growing the business, now you also want to grow the business by outside influence, right? So that's what organic and inorganic. Okay? If you can give this kind of statistics in building your problem statement or your thesis statement, excellent. And these are 2015, 2016 data. Okay, collected 2015, published in 2016. It's very fresh, huh? Just straight from the outward. Fresh. You can smell the cake. Now, the next one is 54% optimistic on company performance. Very optimistic, positive on the company's performance. They believe definitely the company performance will grow, will become better. Now, what are they asking? Asked about the prospects for growth for their organization over the next year, 54% are more confident than they were last year, and only 13% are less confident. So comparatively between 2015 and 2016, 54% claim that definitely the performance will be better. Now, when you say performance, what are you looking at? What are you looking at when company performance? Okay, bottom line. Bottom line. You can talk all kind of stories. You can keep on talking story A up to Z. But if you have not included the bottom line, the dollar sign there, it doesn't. Okay? So 54% of them are very confident, saying that, yeah, man, you guys are going to make money. Okay?
How you explain Amazon then?
Yeah?
How you explain Amazon then?
Amazon is a different ball game. It's a different ball game. Of course, if you look at company performance from the Harvard School, their way of measuring company performance, only one perspective is financial perspective. They have another 3 more perspectives for measuring company performance, especially from the 2 professors from Capital and Market. Totally different. So traditionally, conventionally, business performance is measured by $sign. But these two professors, capital and Norton, the way they manage, the way they measure the company performance are four perspectives. And finance is just one perspective. And again, they claim that finance is a reactive indicator. It is not a proactive indicator. So proactive means that something that assures you for sustainability of business, right? So they claim that, being customer focused is another indicator of company performance. Growth of customer, retention of customer, repeated purchase of customer. These are another perspective of growth perspective. Okay, and then they talk about learning and growth of the people is another performance. How much of learning has happened? How much of growth has happened in the company? That's another performance, company performance measurement, which they focus on. And finally, the number of innovations and inventions or process, revisitation of the process flows and so on, right? How much of responsiveness you building, how much agility you building. So this is another perspective. So Kepler and Norton, they are totally different, four areas to measure. Huh? So anyway, let's look at traditional guys. They look at financial. Some of you subscribe to the financial performance only. How many of you? How many of you just only want to focus on financial outcome of the company's success? How many of you? Or how many of you follow Kepler and Norton? Or how many of you believe that Kepler and Norton is on the right track? No one believes, huh? I believe. I believe, because in order for it to be sustained in the business, you have to fall back to the Kepler and Norton theory. Although they started in 1985, but they've gone through a lot of experience and it is improved again and again. Big companies went into Kepler and Norton formula in year 2000, some 1985, some 1990, and then some we dropped back after going into Kepler and Norton formula, and then after now they come back strong. One good example is Intel itself. Okay, Intel itself. In the year 1998, Intel went into the Kepler's model of measuring company performance, and then they say not good, they went out. And then now 2006, they go back into the Kepler model. So that's a good indicator. This is what you need to have in your arguments, in your literature review, in your chapter 2. You need to argue. As a researcher, you need to put your thoughts across and argue. Even if it's a transport indicator, why not? Argue. Put it in the literature review. Be argumentative. Don't just follow the way. Everything is positive, positive, positive. You need to put in arguments. That shows your maturity of writing your chapter 2. Now let's look at the next one, the 30%. Growing appetite for risk. So Luis, you should be able to answer this. Appetite for risk. Risk appetite. Now the risk appetite here, when you study corporate governance, you come into one of the portfolio of the board of directors. You discuss about the board of directors and you talk about the level of risk appetite of the board of directors. To what extent the board of directors are willing to invest in risk. That's called risk appetite. How much you feel like taking risk. Okay? There's some companies you look at, some board of directors, they don't want to take risk. The low risk appetite. Okay? Some board of directors, they want to be aggressive, they want to take higher risk appetite. Their risk appetite is high. So you find that 30% of the respondents believe that there is a growth for a risk appetite. That means you don't know how big the ocean is, right? But you want to jump, you want to dive, and you want to explore. That is what is called as risk appetite. Okay? You may fall, you may emerge, come out beautifully, or you may just drown, right? So you find it's a good finding, risk appetite. But of course, you have to go to it's not the company management who decides on risk appetite, it's the board of directors who sets the direction. Company management, we can't do much. The executive committee can't do much. We have to follow the direction of the board of directors. This is where those of you who, if you have any independent variables or even your intervening variables as what you call corporate governance, and you can put risk appetite. Risk appetite can even be a moderate, the high risk or low risk. Risk appetite can be a moderator. He can be a very good moderator. Please, you may want to take a look at the topic. Now the next one is 47% capital targeted for geographic expansion. Geographic expansion is the top priority for capital investment over the next 3 years for the CEOs. Significant capital will be devoted to expanding into foreign markets. Okay, says 47% of the CEOs. So again, talking about capital targeted. So whatever money or reserve they have, whatever profit they make, the target is to pump or to invest in what we call geographic expansion. Geographic expansion is going out international business. Okay. The next one, 74% competitive environment gets tougher. Wow. The competitive environment gets tougher. The industry dynamic is changing. The way we play football 10 years ago and the way now we play football, the positioning of the players have changed. Right? That's what you call as competitive environment gets tougher. The dynamics is difficult. Okay? So 74% are concerned about new entrants disrupting their business. Wow. New entrants disrupting their business. Who are the new entrants? Players, new players who have the investment or who have the know-how coming in, right? The new players, those people who have the investment, they have the money, they have the know-how, the technology they have. Okay, so these are the category of people we call as new entrants. Now they are coming in. When they come in very fast. Because normally the existing firms, they're very much stuck up with their own process. They don't want to be agile at all. Very tough, stiff. Can't even adjust little bit. Stiff. Sticking to the process and procedures and so on. For me, basically, as a business guy, I just simply hate process and procedures, rules and regulations. If possible, I don't want to have that. But unfortunately, the UC system, we have to abide by that. Because we have got the Ministry of Education, another rules and regulation, and then we have the aggregation body and another rules and regulation. So, unfortunately, we have to abide by that. Otherwise, I don't want. What should I put to my customer? Why should I talk to my customer about rules and regulation? Why he cares? Why he cares about rules? Rules is you. It's not me. I'm a customer. You give me what I want. Right? But unfortunately, our industry is such. But some industries, yeah, you have the freedom to go without rules and regulations. Okay? But we are confined. If the MBA takes 6 months to approve the program, then you cannot say anything. You just have to listen to them. So that is tough. And the MBA says this particular guy cannot be a lecturer, even though he's got 10, 15 years of experience, but no PhD, he has to listen. Okay? But a guy is better than any PhD holder because of his experience. He can be better than a fresh PhD holder. He carries, I don't know how many PhD through the 10, 20 years of working. I always say when people work in multinational corporation, it's only a university. When they finish 10 years working in a multinational corporation, they're only graduating from the university. University of Motorola, University of Intel, University of HP. Yeah. It is a university by itself. The number of years you go through, past experience and so on, and how many times you have been exposed to different situations. Implementation of ERP system. A French guy getting a PhD from University of IT versus a guy who's in the industry was implemented or had exposure of several rounds of implementing ERP system. I went through the implementation of ERP of Oracle in India, and then after 4 years changed to SAP in India. And the number of times the transition happened, the migration, how much hurdles I faced. There was a day the whole warehouse was closed, shut down for 48 hours, just because the migration did not happen well, and the inventory was not able to be reconciled. More than 0.05%, the warehouse was closed for 48 hours. The finance guy came very hard. The finance guy came very hard. He says, the inventory is not reconciled. Hence the migration is not going to happen. You guys go and fix your problem first before I open the doors. The finance guys are very strong, powerful, okay? So he closed the doors. And my customers outside there are suffering. So that is, you know, this kind of things you don't get in your books. Leading to implementation of the system. Okay? Anyway, that is, you know, rules and regulations I'm referring to. Now, 86% customers demand under pressure. Okay? 86% of the CEOs are concerned about the loyalty of their customers. Wow. Today for the field colloquium, we've got about 20 of you. The next colloquium, how many of you will be coming in again? If you come in, then you have the loyalty. If you don't come in, then you don't have the loyalty. Right? Dr. Rizal. Alright, well, anyway, we hope that you will have the loyalty with us. We just simply hope that you will be loyal to us. We want to have repeated occurrence of this colloquium. This is the first time we're starting the colloquium and we want to get it right in the first place. And we're putting a lot of efforts, but nevertheless, there's a lot of weaknesses that need to be done. I'm not saying they're perfections. No, they're not perfections. There are still a lot of areas of improvement that need to be done. So that's the reason why I'm getting your feedback. Okay, I want the feedback. I want you to give me feedback and tell me where we can rectify, where we can correct our mistakes, and what is actually your expectations. Did your expectation met or met? Okay, so customer loyalty is another area. So at the same time, technology is driving the change in the way organizations interact with their clients. The PhD and topic, this is nice. How can you relate customer loyalty and technology? The fusion of technology and customer loyalty. Okay? Beyond branding. The fusion of customer loyalty and technology. Okay? And beyond branding. My branding guy is there. Olivia. So Olivia, customer loyalty and technology put together, the weight that you get is just beyond your brand. If your brand stands very strong in the market, okay, versus another company has got good customer loyalty because of their technology, they stand an advantage compared to this guy who is strong in the brand, like Harvard, right? So that's why they say. So that would be a good topic. You have to come up with some nice words and concepts to put in your PhD. It's not like, you know, as I used to tell my students, PhD, don't talk about customer satisfaction. Those are outdated topics to be researched. It's just a waste of your time and the supervisor's time. Remember, supervisors are dedicating their time to go through a thesis. And you may have 50 revisions before you finish your final thesis. Can you imagine 50 times reading through your article? It's not easy job, it's painful job, okay? It's very painful. So you should also reward the supervisor with a good topic. For me, if I'm supervising a paper, you give me a good topic, I'll be very happy. I'll be glad to take you through. You know why? For me, I find it's a challenging topic for me. If you give me a topic that is I'm very used to, I know the topic very well in and out, I won't be motivated. Of course, maybe some supervisor likes it, because they know where to teach on, right? But for me, no. For me, each time I take a student, I want the topic to be challenging, not only for you, but also for me as a supervisor. Then I'm motivated to move. Okay? So look for topics. This one page speaks a lot, gives you a lot of insight of what you're supposed to focus. What topic would be the best topic for you to take? Okay? Now let's look at next one. Now, 63% regulatory environment, a top area of concern. Regulatory, monitoring your performance, monitoring your participation, monitoring your activities. Regulatory. The global economic growth and regulatory environment were far away the biggest issue of CEOs identified as having the most impact on the companies. Tax regulation, followed by environmental regulation and corporate financing reporting were the top 3 regulatory concerns. You see, beautiful, isn't it? Your statement, problem statement, thesis statement. So nice. The guy put it beautifully, excellent. He said, tax regulations. In Malaysia, you have the very recent one, GST, right? It's a pressing issue, right? It's a pressing issue. And then the environmental regulation, especially developed countries, right? Of course, developing countries are not very strictly on environmental regulation, but developed countries, yes. And financial reporting. So, what is financial reporting? Can you put in creative accounting? You know, there's another guy who talk about creative accounting, right? Accrual, can you apply that? I had a lot of arguments with board of directors with regards to financial reporting. Not this company, but previous company. The chief executive, I had an argument with the board of directors when we wanted to have creative accounting. You must be consistent in your creative accounting. You cannot be this year you want to put accrual and next day you say take an accrual just because you want to massage your figures. That's not the way. Right? Okay, so that's another thing that you want to look at. Now let's look at another increasing account. CEOs are expecting to be in hiring mode mid 2018. Wow. Job opportunities, right? Job opportunities are increasing out. So these are the key findings from the research from KPMG, again, which is really interesting. They did the research in 2015. Okay, and if you want to read the full article, then you have to let me know the Fraser, and I will give you the full article. I think it's about 34 pages of full article. I'm going to say you have to read it for me. So copies can give you some copies. Now let's look at the next page. 11 o'clock is your photography session. Huh? Now let's look at the next page. The aggressive growth imperative. Only on talking about one area. So look at the two things that they have talked about in the aggressive growth. The most critical challenge for CEOs expect to face over the next 3 years. And on the other hand, the strategic priorities over the next 3 years. Now first let us look at the most critical challenges you expect to face. The challenge is ensuring financial growth. 30% what we are talking about financial, focusing on financial. There is a very good outlook of going, international and expanding the business, but 30% will be, to ensure that financially you're also sound and you're also growing. 27% focusing on operational excellence. What is OPEX? What is OPEX? I mean, operational excellence, you call it OPEX. But what is OPEX? Your day in, day out business that you do, day in, day out business that you do, and how much of better you can put in your day in and day out. Okay, so OPEX here refers to all the processes that you have, all the expenses that you have, which are variable expenses, which are not CAPEX, which are not capital intensive. Okay? So 30% of the CEOs believe that you have to focus on financial growth, and specifically it is more on looking at the OPEX. 26% strengthening our brand. As the company goes international, expanding the geography, and 26% of the CEOs are worried and focusing on the challenge on maintaining or strengthening their existing brand. It's not easy as you go into international market. Sometimes you have to lower your brand. Sometimes you have to give the same product, you have to sell it on different package. So you try to compromise your brand. Okay? So there is another area, strengthening our brand is a big challenge. Okay? I'll give you an example. This store, My Lead store, right? My Lead store, one of the large retailers in Malaysia. One of the local large retailers, local large retailer in Malaysia. I was actually participated in one of the stores recently. So he told me, My Lead is a brand, it's a brand itself, right? And he told me he used to sell the necktie, okay? And he imports the necktie from China. And he said the cost of each necktie is only 5 ringgit, Thai 5 ringgit. And he sells it in My Lead for 8 ringgit. Okay, 8 ringgit. It's not many buyers for that necktie because they say 8 ringgit. The same necktie, he takes it and put it in a box. He packaged the same necktie, 5 ringgit. He just said, he put it in a box, present it very nicely, beautifully inside a box, and he spends for the box just 2 ringgit. And he sells the tie for 25 ringgit. And he said people buy this more than the 8 ringgit tie. This is where Oliver comes in. His field of expertise, he comes in with 20 years of experience. Yeah? So, Maidin said, it's not that I'm cheating the market. That's what the market wants. What am I to do? I make better margin by selling this. My cost is only 7 ringgit, but I make 25 ringgit. I sell it. And I make, 18 ringgit out of that. This one I sell cheap. People don't want to buy it. Actually, take out the box. They're not using the box. They don't put the box together in the tie, right? They just put up. Look at the price. It's the same material. They say no difference. You can take and have a look. It's the same material. That's all. Okay. So that's where 26% of the companies, strengthening our brand. So MyDay will have to strengthen the brand by putting the brand MyDay on the box itself. Okay. 26% expanding geographically. Yeah, this is another focus as the company going geographically outside the home country to another host country. So they have to look at the challenges they face. And 25% believe in innovations. As you move forward into your new geography, you have to keep on focusing on innovation. Many of us think innovation is rocket science. Innovation is not rocket science. That is invention. We must be able to differentiate between innovation and invention. Many of us think innovation means, wow, it's something new bringing to the market. That is invention, brother. We are here talking about innovation. Rather than putting the chair this way, sitting this way, if I change the chair, I put it in a round table sitting, and I put a flip classroom, then that is innovation. Yeah, just a little bit tweaking here and there, that's innovation. This is a traditional classroom setting, right? If I change the sitting in a round table, it's innovation for the classroom. So similarly, business are focusing on innovation. They believe that innovation is absolutely important, and we really need to look into innovation models. Becoming more data-driven. I was talking to one of the students and he told me, oh, I want to do research on big data. He said, what the hell big data is? I know data is data, what big data? Oh, big data is very big data. How big is the data? How big is the data? I keep on saying, it's big data. I say, explain, In research, when you use the word big data, then you need to explain. Oh, see, according to this, wikis, I said wikis, acceptable in this. Oh, you explain to me, big data means what? Put it in the right way, So I told him, big data means what? Big data means you have the overall, the entire data from the day one the customer joined your company and the profiling of the customer. Especially in the service industry, big data helps a lot in the service industry. Why? Because in the service industry, it's face to face. When you sell your product, you are selling face to face and you sell the product. In the hotel industry, in the hospital industry, in the education service-based industry. So the profiling is important. When the customer came to you, how much he bought, was then later how much he bought, then he stopped or sometimes then he come back to you. This is what big data. So you explain, put it in your own words, in your own context, your own understanding what big data means. Okay? So you find that 40% of CEO says, becoming more data driven, especially looking into the big data and so on. Okay? And the data is important. Right? Now let's look at the strategic priorities over the next 3 years. What are the main priorities? Action plan, strategies, action plan. Some books say strategies are choice. Some say strategies are action. Okay? So let's look at it. 33% developing growth strategies, new growth strategies. As I said, no more focusing on innovations in your licensing model, franchising model, or going into partnership model. But this is totally different model of new strategies, growth strategies. Like organic rather than organic, inorganic. to speed up your process, you want to go into inorganic growth rather than focusing on organic growth. 30% stronger client focus. Yes, this is where the IT guys comes in. Very strong focus on client means customer, focusing on customer, facing customer. Rather than looking at what you have, the technology that you have, you want to design your product and services. That's a wrong concept. Look at your customer first. Face your customer first. Ask yourself what your customer wants, and then go and design your product and your services. Don't design your product and services. Say, wow, this looks nice. The arrangement of the bottles this way looks nice, beautiful. But actually, maybe for one of the customers, say this is a stupid way of arranging. I could have, if you put all the bottles by side, I can put my book here. You understand? So this is what we mean by customer facing, client facing. Ask the customer, especially when you talk about IT research. Sorry, my IT friends. Okay, IT research. Whatever you have, innovations in your mind, you like to take it out and put it to your customer. But you fail to understand that your customer is not as intelligent as you are with innovation. What they look at business is different from what you are looking at. Okay, so you need to ask the customer what you want. So we recently implemented the Parapada system. So we are still going through a lot of challenges with them. The Parapada guys. We keep on complaining this, and telling them putting the pressure on them. Okay? Reducing cost structure. Reduction in cost. Okay? So the strategic priorities of company, even though cost is OPEX, is operation excellence, but yet they took the cost structure and put it as a strategic priority, I mean long-term priority, by visiting back the cost, looking at the cost and seeing how they can really seriously look at cutting the cost. Okay? Greater speed to market. I like this word, greater speed to market. India always says that speed to market is the key to success. You have the best product in the world, but you're going through the shakeout period of 6 months, 9 months shakeout period. You know what shakeout period? Testing period. Put inside the machine, then shaking it out, testing it out. The reliability, the quality, the performance of the product. You take 6 months to go through a shakeout period. By the time you do that, your competitors will become much the same similar product. Look at how Apple comes up in the market. Very fast. Very fast. Yes, not all the time they bring the product to the market with success, right? The iPhone 5, it was a little bit of failure because of the battery, right? Lifespan. But they still took it to the market, right? Later, maybe then look at how it is. So this is important. Okay? Greater speed to market. Or the other way is responsiveness. Being responsive to the market. In the market, there's a shift in the market. You must be responsive to the market to follow the shift. Okay? And 27, fostering innovation. Not only innovation, fostering innovation, meaning to say nurturing. Incorporating innovations in every span of your time with your people. Okay? Putting innovation through. Allowing people to come in and talk about innovations. You would have come across some of the managers. Each time you talk to them about innovation, they say, no, don't do that. Innovation, don't do that. You know why? You know why they say don't do this, don't do that? Because most of the time they are the one who wrote the procedures and process. So now you ask them to change, they feel, oh, you're challenging them. They will tell you always, don't do that, don't do that. Actually, it's because they feel that you are challenging them. That's wrong perception. For me, it's simple. Even if I come up with a new process and you find that something needs to be changed, and you can prove to me that there's agility and flexibility to the customer and responsiveness to the customer, I will tell you, go ahead and change it. As long as my customers are happy, go ahead and do it. Alright, so these are the 2 pages that I wanted to share with you with regards to the business outlook. I hope these 2 pages would have helped you, given you some thoughts on business. As you guys are all, IT, transportation, and business students. So this is important. How you frame your thesis statement. Now, these are the things. Okay? You have to be not tacit. You have to be explicit in your writing. You know, right? You must be using numerics and evidence-based. That's what I call tacit. This is what called tacit knowledge. You must have numerics and evidence to speak. to build your statement. To build your statement, thesis statement, you must have that. You cannot use opinion. Even though you have 30 years experience, you can't say, in my opinion, technically you are wrong. Don't use the word in my opinion. Hence, therefore, I think, I believe, all those words, and take it out from your mind until you become an authority. When you are an authority, then it's okay, you can say, like Dr. Ye is an authority for Bangladesh. That's okay, he can say everything, he can say because he's an authority, appointed. That's okay. If you're not an authority, don't use the word I think, I believe, I see, I foresee. Okay, now, any questions from this? Any questions? No? No question, then let's go for the photography session. Okay? Then after that, we'll start our navigating. Okay? Photography session. Then. Come, let's come forward. Please come forward. Yeah, come. So come, please. Please, come, Nick. Maybe the first row can be just below so that you come forward. Balance up that all ones. Yeah. Yo, take it over. Okay, now let's continue. Now I'm going to take you through chapter 5. Even though the agenda is chapter 4 and 5, I leave the chapter 4 for the expert on statistics to take you through. Okay? I'll take you through chapter 5 in thesis. Right? Okay? Now, chapter 1 to chapter 1 problem statement, research objective, research question, significance of the study, scope of the study, delimitations of the study, so all definitions of key terms, all etc. And then you move on chapter 2, literature review, research, historical, IT people, chapter 2, impact in history, historical, etc. Some benchmarking, some best practices, and so on. Now then, chapter 3, how you would conduct study, design, methodology, blah blah blah. What type of statistics you are going to use, how much are descriptive stats and inferential stats and all. We talk in chapter 3. The respondent, the population, and the implementation. Again, what's the timeline, by the cross-sectional or longitudinal study. Then you'll move on to chapter 4. That's where you do your findings. You report out your findings based on the statistical analysis that you have done earlier. Then chapter 5. Chapter 5, basically chapter 5 is where the researcher uses his intelligence. The maturity of the thesis comes in chapter. The writer's in-depth studies are reflected in chapter. It is not in chapter 2. Chapter 2 is only literature, arguments, right? Argument literature. The pros and cons, all this stuff in chapter 2. But in chapter 5, you speak based on the evidence that you found. Based on the evidence that you see, you speak. And you relate it back to some of the previous researchers and say whether it is meeting to what they have found in their research, yes or no. If no, then what? That's where chapter 5 comes in. So I'm just going to take it to chapter 5. So like any other chapters, you have introduction. Any chapters, right? Every chapter will have an introduction. So chapter 10, introduction. So here, of facts get the reader's attention in the introduction. Don't make the introduction be dull. Make it interesting. When people read the introduction, how do you buy books? When you buy books, what do you look at in books? Business books or any books? What do you look at? Of course, you go to the books, what you call stores. You don't have time to read the 300 pages and then make a decision to buy a book, right? But what do you look at? The book. You look at the introduction, and most importantly, you look at the preface, right? Cover. Exciting cover. Beautiful color. You guys are really exciting. You look at that. That is like an introduction. Gives you what the author is trying to say in this book, right? Is there any moral there? Is there anything new that the author is saying, right? So similarly, the introduction must be like that. It must be catchy. It must be interesting. So the chapter 5, you really need to put it nice. Okay? Interesting questions of facts get the reader's attention. Which sentence? Connect the first sentence to the thesis statement. Your first sentence in the chapter 5, try to connect it to your thesis statement. What was actually your thesis statement? What actually you're trying to do? Connect it over there. That makes the reader, wow, this guy, okay, now this guy is talking about this. Then the interest comes in. The statement, the thesis statement, say the main idea of the essay here. So that's why when you're writing in chapter 1, you have the main objective, followed by the specific objective, right? So we talk about the main objective, not the specific small quality objective. That's why you capture it in the introduction. It's chapter 5 in an interesting way. Okay, introduction is a signal for chapter 5 in a very nice way. Announces the main points of the finding. Okay, of course, in your finding you may have 7 hypotheses. So you got 7 findings there, or you have 5 research objectives, 5 questions answered there. You don't need to put everything. Okay, you put the main one there. It includes your thesis statement. That is very important. Its length should be proportional to the introduction of other chapters. If your chapter 1, your introduction is 3/4 page, and here you put 2-page introduction, you're not consistent. Be consistent. If every chapter your introduction is only half page, then if every chapter your introduction is 3/4 page, limit should be consistent. It should not be running away. Or putting this just 1/3 the page, the rest of the introduction is 2-3 pages. You have to be consistent in your writing. Okay? You should be consistent. An introduction should be attention grabbing and can give a glimpse about how you are going to support your thesis findings. It should be like catching people's attention to your findings. Okay? And how are you going to support your findings? Maybe the findings is you find that your hypothesis, out of 7 hypotheses, 4 are rejected. 4 hypotheses are rejected. Of course, when you build a hypothesis, you build a hypothesis based on literature, right? But then now you find 4 are rejected out of 7. So here you are going to support your thesis finding, support the 4 that have been rejected. An introduction should not present background or general factual information. Don't give background in the introduction. Don't need to. No, start with a dictionary definition. This is where students like to do cut, copy, paste, and put what you call encyclopedia, wikis, definition here and there. You're wasting your time. It's good to write in your own what you call thoughts, rather than taking from someone else. Now let's look at the main body. Main body is like this. Okay? You have an introduction, your conclusion. These are all the main body. Okay? So you must feed it well. A little bit of spicy, a little bit of salty, crunchy, and so on. You should make it. That's the main body. Now, main body, depending on the paper instruction and the length of the number of paragraphs in the main section varies from 1 to several paragraphs. At the end of each paragraph, you need not be very specific that every paragraph must have 7 lines, 8 lines, no, depending on what you're discussing. Okay, that's the main body. So, for example, every main body, every paragraph or every points, the facts that you're going to put in the main body, you must have the topic sentence. That's where you start. I'm talking about paragraph in chapter 5. Your paragraph in chapter 5. So every paragraph in chapter 5, you must start with a topic sentence first. Okay? For example, you're talking about customer engagement. Okay, customer engagement. One of the hypotheses you say that sharing of information has got a very strong relationship with customer engagement. So you say sharing of information, that is your topic sentence. So you must start with a topic sentence and then followed by the body sentence. Now body sentence is where your findings that you have done in chapter 4, that's why you bring in this what you call body sentence. Your findings comes in as a body sentence. The topic sentence is your variable, the key variables that you're discussing. Assuming you have got 7 hypotheses or 7 research questions, right? So research question number 1 is 1 paragraph, you're writing, or 2 paragraphs. But what you need to put, you need to get that particular variable inside as a topic sentence. And then chapter 4, you write it as body sentence 1, body sentence 2, and body sentence 3. Okay? Before you finish the paragraph or before you finish writing about your findings in chapter 4, you want to conclude here. So you make sure you have also a concluding sentence. So basically in a paragraph, you can have 1 sentence, 2, 3, 4, and 5 sentences. Roughly, okay? Roughly on average, okay? So roughly in a paragraph, you have about 5 sentences. Write it, put it in a nice way. Put it more structured. It cannot be like sometimes in 1 paragraph you find that, one sentence going, the second sentence comes with 2 lines. Put it in a very organized way. So similarly, you follow through the next one, the next topic. What can we put in the main body or chapter 5? The main body paragraph could include relevant paragraph or sometimes when you want to look at your thesis and you say in chapter 4, these are the hypotheses being accepted, these are rejected. So you go back to the history of the background of the hypothesis, why in the first place you put the hypothesis. Why you put hypothesis. Then this is where you need to look at your main that supported the hypothesis. The main guy who supported the hypothesis, whom you got it from, the literature review, you get that. I find really this is in chapter 5. Most of the time, students fail to use references. I don't know why. They think that references means only chapter 2. Other chapters don't, because my lecturer told me references citation only in chapter 2. This is the biggest mistake they're doing. You must have citations throughout all the chapters. Like, for example, if your thesis is rejected or accepted, put there. Who said this hypothesis or this is a variable to your what you call statement? And now, why do you find that it has been rejected? Or it is accepted? Just say, wow, this further, what you call confirms that the findings of this study is similar to the study of George 2014. Even though the two environments are different, or the two sample sizes are different, or the two set of populations are different, even though two different populations, but yet they are similar. If they are rejected, then you say, well, the findings that have been discussed in chapter 4 appears that this hypothesis was rejected, and despite this hypothesis was well supported by James 2012 in his research that was conducted in the UK environment. Okay. However, getting this study conducted in the Malaysian setting, okay, it appears or it is confirmed that this hypothesis was rejected. Okay, this hypothesis was rejected. The two different settings between the UK and the Malaysian settings, makes a difference in the outcome of the study. Okay. The probable causes for these differences could be the cultural context. Yeah, the cultural context. So that's how you need to write. So you need to get back to what we have stated. So that is your historical, and then the current mainstream versus the alternate theory viewpoints. The current mainstream is talking about what you have written in your final framework that is in chapter 3. Yeah, the current mainstream versus the alternate theoretical viewpoints. Versus the alternate theoretical viewpoint here refers to what are the other theories that you have actually omitted in your chapter 3, but you think now that supports why the hypothesis was rejected. Alternate. The mainstream is what you supported already. Possible approaches to the subject. Okay, you can also talk about some possible approaches like empirical. You don't talk about what people are doing. Like this data is empirical. The one I shared this morning with you is empirical. That means real data has been collected and behind, or maybe because of some historical background, or maybe due to some technical. Especially you can use these philosophical, historical, technical, especially when you have rejected a hypothesis. Why it didn't work the way you thought. You made an assumption, but it didn't work out the way you thought. Right? Culture could be one, the other one could be the philosophical, it could be technical. Maybe the set of respondent you've taken, you find if you conduct a study in Vietnam, even though your respondents are managers, but it's different because most of the time the managers in Vietnam are young. Within the age group of 30 to 40, they are only managers in Vietnam. Young managers, so that's the same thing that happened in Laos. Many young managers. So if you have your research outcome from China versus the countries where managers are within the age group of 40 and above. Okay. So technically, the two different sample sites that you have collected You know, that makes a difference for your hypothesis to be rejected or accepted. And in chapter 5, while you're writing the paragraph, if you miss something, maybe when you start to write your literature review was 2 years ago, right? But now you find that something has merged, something has come up, right? So then you can also put that conclusion. The main body will also generally contain paragraph about definition of words and concept. Again, don't go back to the dictionary definition. Don't go back to what people are saying. Definition here, your own understanding. Okay, that's where you need to go. Major issues and questions raised. Why what we call the research question or the hypothesis was accepted, or the main reason why the hypothesis was rejected. Okay, so you can have major issues and question raised. Sometimes you were not able to answer your research question. So what was the major issue that that has stopped you from answering the question? Major theories to answer this question is always good if you follow the theories. If you fall back to if you can fall back to theories to answer the question, it's very good. Because you can see, right, when you talk about business ethics and law, right? Business law and ethics, you talk about business law and ethics, right? You have these two theories of utilitarian theories and Kant's theories, right? Two theories, utilitarian theory and Kant theory. Utilitarian theory says, if a big, large group of people can benefit and some do not benefit, disadvantage, but the bigger group advantage, you go ahead with that. That is utilitarian theory. Okay? Kant's theory says everyone must be happy, only then you apply the rule. So, contradicting, right? This kind of things is where you bring in and you discuss. You bring in this theory and then you answer the question. Okay? Well, the economic, what you call, layoff in a company has got a negative impact on the company's, motivation, employees' motivation. Layoff and employee motivation. You say there's a negative impact. Whenever there's a layoff, there's a negative impact in the employee motivation. But when you did the study, you find the hypothesis is not supported. Layoff doesn't really support it, doesn't really impact the motivation of the employee. Then what do? You come back to this theory. The utilitarian theory say, oh, according to Kant's theory, layoff will demoralize employee. However, utilitarian theory says is a small group is at disadvantage, the bigger group can benefit, then it works well. So you lay off a small group, but the people who are existing in the company are now going to be positioned back. So it is good. So this is how you need to bring your arguments. So this is where the theories will support you. Theories will make your argument strong. Don't just put writing in chapter 5 and say, oh, in chapter 4, my findings was fine. You don't mind. I, my, you. No personalization in this. First part, if you write, the study in chapter 4 confirms that this hypothesis was rejected because the people believe that this is, you are totally out. For a bachelor's level, we expect that to find out the acceptable. They are like media reporters. What they see, they report. What they don't see, they don't report. But you should be reporting what you don't see. That's why I say the maturity of the researcher comes in chapter 5. Many times in schools, they don't teach you how to write chapter 5. They only teach you chapter 1, 2, and 3. After that, they allow you to swim by yourself. Because they say, go read the previous piece. That's all. They just say, go read the previous piece. But that's why I claim that chapter 5 shows the maturity of it. Even if you have made some mistakes here in chapter 5, if chapter 5 is really strong, you will have good grade in your thesis. So you should be able to link. That's what they call PhD here, philosophy. Okay? Meaning to say you have a philosophical discussion. Where your philosophical discussion comes in your chapter 2 and your chapter 5. Strengthen is in your chapter 5, the philosophical discussion. It's okay to go and refute the theory. It's okay. Go and refute the theory, but refute with facts. Don't just refute the theory without facts. Don't say that, oh, Maslow's hierarchy of theory of needs, doesn't work well in the relation setting. Then you stop there, you stop. You'll get a 0 for that. Why you challenge Abraham Maslow? You challenge him, okay, but challenge with facts. If you don't have the facts, then you don't dare to go challenge, right? Until now, nobody wants to challenge the theory of gravity, right? Yeah, it's fact, right? You drop something, it falls to the ground, right? So you must have facts to challenge, okay? So major theories to answer those questions. Those are important, okay? You should know in your field of study what are the major theories. I think in IT, one of the theories that I can think of for business linked to IT is Kurt Lewin theory. Kurt Lewin's theory of change. Even though you come up with a lot of plans for the IT implementation, but some other, we don't go through the right way of freezing, move and then defreeze. Sorry, defreeze first, and then move and then freeze. If you don't follow the theory, you will fail in the implementation. People won't accept it. Right? That's the theory, theory of change, right? Implementation. So that will support you. So techniques and methodologies and methods that you use. Now you can also write about your evaluation of the techniques that you used, the method that you used. Maybe you follow the method that we suggested by Umar Sekran or Sigmund or Coopers or whoever it is, right, in order to get these results, right? But now later in your findings, you look at it and you feel that something would have gone wrong in the technique that you used. It's okay. You don't need to go and correct by your chapter 3. Don't worry. But here in chapter 5, write it. It's okay. If you made some mistakes in the methodology or the technique, it's okay. You just read and course with some facts, actual statement. You can also go back to literature review. Many of the students, when they read the literature review, they don't bring in arguments, they don't discuss about some of the failures of the research. Okay? So that's why in some schools, when students are in a PhD, the supervisor will say, get 5 papers, critical review of 5 journal papers. Why do you think they wanted to do a critical review of 5 journal papers? They want you to, criticize positively and look at it, what the researcher did wrong and so on. That's the reason why in some schools they emphasize that before even you could start your literature review, chapter 2, critical review of 5 journals. I don't know, maybe in your school here, in our school here, maybe we can apply that later on. I think that's good actually. Critical review of 5 journal papers to see how critical you are in writing, okay, of your journal outputs. And you have to, of course, you cannot simply criticize a paper, or you have to criticize using facts and figures. Okay. So now let's look at the conclusion side of it. Okay, what do you look in conclusion for chapter 5? Remember, hamburger is not outstanding without the bottom bun, right? The hamburger will just not, the burger will not just stand by itself. You need to have the bottom bun, right? You need to have the top bun, which is the introduction, you need to have the feelings, and then you need to have the bottom bun, right? Then you need the burger as well, right? So the conclusion is like the bottom bun. Okay? Restate the thesis, echo the main ideas, do not, but don't simply repeat. This is student life. They go back to chapter 4, they take that paragraph, you take the sentence, repeat that in chapter 5. Even though you are putting back the idea, don't just take copy and paste it. Restate it. The same thing, but you just restate it. Write it again in a different format. Okay, that should be the way. Bring sentence. Connect the restate thesis to the last sentence. Bridge the sentence. Don't make the sentence hanging by itself. Hanging loose. Huh? No connection. One sentence, next sentence, no connectivity. Of course, this one you can get more readings with your English lecture. Okay, how to make connection of sentences. The next colloquium, result take note. We may want to bring in the English lecturer to help the students to reconnect sentences. Okay? How to reconnect sentences and restate. restate the statements and reconnect back sentences. I think this is important. This is how the art of writing. Even me, I find it because I'm a very structured guy, very orderly. So people who are very orderly and structured will find it difficult to reconnect statements and restate statements and reconnect sentences. So only those people who have got the flair for literature, storytelling, and they are good. You guys are not storytelling guys, they are business guys. We don't have time for that. But that's okay. We'll organize one session for restate of ideas and also reconnecting back sentences. We need to have that session. Interesting question facts leave readers without something to think on. Something to think on. So when you are putting your conclusion, this is also where you put certain things, you like the readers to think about it. There's something else that can be researched further. Okay? So the conclusion states to the reader that you are winding up and preparing to finish off your paper. Don't put the conclusion as though it is, there's going to be another one more chapter after this. Then it's like the readers will be thinking, guys, one more chapter. Sometimes funny, universally 5 chapters are for easy, but sometimes some universities not only universities, but sometimes because students have done quantitative studies, both studies together. So then they have another one more chapter. Okay. So in the conclusion, it is advised to rephrase the thesis statement along with the main ideas of the paper. So while writing a conclusion, you're finishing up your write-up, you please write back your problem statement, thesis statement, the problem statement, and then you answer your main research question. That is the beauty. You finish with that, excellent. Very good. Be a logical wind-up. Logical wind-up. It's like saying thank you for reading my piece. That's why the final sentence, of course, you don't go to that thank you for reading my piece. I'm saying it should appear like that. When you're winding it up in a conclusion, your last sentence something like that. It should be saying thank you for reading my thesis. Okay. Information. Don't suddenly bring in one new theory and put it in the conclusion of chapter 5. Again, you are like, opening up another can of worm. Opening up a can of worm, you open up a can of worm, what will happen? Suddenly worms will be coming out, right? So don't ever do that. Putting in one new theory, the last conclusion, this theory can be further discussed. So it's like putting up a can of worm and then asking the worms to come out. So don't put yourself in suicidal case. Bring up topics which future research. Yeah, that's what. That is inside the body of the chapter 5 itself. Future research and you can put it in there. But this one I'm saying you're writing the conclusion for the chapter 5. You need to areas, what will be the areas the future research can focus on, what are missing in your study. Yeah, of course you need to have that. Usually it is the shortest part of the essay. Don't put your conclusion chapter 5 to be another 1 page. Chapter 5 conclusion half a page or 3 pages. Don't put it 1 page, go to the second page. Especially sometimes some people will ask, hey, this is how many pages I need to write. I really don't know how to answer it. How can I answer this? I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. 15,000, 25,000 words. I don't know. I don't know what to answer. It all depends on you. How you articulate the thoughts that you put in, right? So don't because you or the number of sentences, so you expand your conclusion to 2 pages. Okay? And the overall quality and impact of that study. The conclusion should not just be a summary. Conclusion is summary of 2 different things. Summary is making an abstract. And with a long quotation or even contain one, just focus on minor points on argument and introduce new material. So this is where I say, you know, the new materials here in the future research and so on. Okay, what is further to this? What can be done? Okay. The conclusion has to be tied together with various issues enclosed in the body of the paper. It cannot be like in the body of hypothesis and then you conclusion suddenly you bring a new hypothesis inside. No. Well, that's about your chapter 5. I will give you the what do you call the chapter 5 by what do you call subtitles. I'll give you it by subtitles so you know where to fill in the all subtitles where the future research comes in my all limitations. So some people write the limitations in chapter 5, some people write the limitation in chapter 1 itself. Okay, so you have to follow your university process where you want to put your limitations. Okay, in some universities they say you want to write delimitation. Some universities say no need to put delimitation, just put scope of study. Of course, when you put the scope of study, if you are going to study, it doesn't mean you're telling the rest I don't study. Right? So delimitation is the rest I'm not going to study. Okay, so follow your pattern, follow your school. Okay, any questions so far? No? No question, then we'll take a break. Okay, that's about chapter 5. Chapter 4 will be taken by statistics. No? Okay, so now let's give some thought for the any missing things that you find from the colloquium. Sorry, I was not here to welcome you for the session yesterday. So anything that you have which was missing, you're missing your lanyard. All of you? You got your lanyard? Oh, you don't have a lanyard? You don't have a lanyard?
Then there's a thing.
ID? You have?
That's a sunny statement.
Wow. Okay, now that's okay. I'll make sure that you get it by noon. So please have the lecture. Take Friday, you need what you need to give the student picture ID was not clear, not clear, it's too dark and so on. Of course, that's a simple thing, you can change it for you. Not an issue at all. You can change it. You want to be student friendly, it's not a very hostile environment. That's not so structured, like putting gates here and there and making people survive this. Okay, anything else apart from that? I hope all of you got the organizer. For those of you not see the organizer, you will see the organizer. And then, yeah, and also the organizer, we need to let them know when is the next colloquium date and what are the tentative agenda for the next colloquium so that they will be prepared. And what are the homework they need to do for the next colloquium. All these things we'll give you towards the last day. Okay, the next colloquium agenda, and then what you're supposed to do. And your week of supervisor session that's
today.
okay. And you have the supervisor session. Okay, that session is going to be next July. So take note of it. Okay. So you will come up by another 2 days. We'll let you know the agenda and the July for the next colloquium, so that you can block. You guys are all working busy guys, so you also need time to block the calendar, right? Right. So yeah, so that will help you block the calendar. And also, please, we don't know, the agenda by looking in what's important for you, but we don't know what is in your mind that you feel that you need to polish or you need to know more. So your feedback, that's where the feedback form is. Please give us your feedback. What are the areas that you need a little bit more focus, or what are the areas that you need refresher, topics or areas and so on, and then we will take you to. Okay. Please, this is not like the undergraduate study where the lecturer comes in front and then push you through. Right? through your throat and ask you to follow up. No, that's not to get feedback from you. We want to make our colloquium interesting. If you are interested, I have some topics to be shared with you. You know, some research topics I can share with you. Maybe if I have not evening or tomorrow, some maybe 20 topics. Maybe some what you do. But what I want you to do is, I want you to have your topics instructed. I want you the center of the topic to be catchy enough. It must be, at a first look, inspiring. The words that you use, it must be inspiring. Now, by talking about customer loyalty, it is only a word that is only faded out. So your topic, your subject, you only chosen the subject, but the sentence you can always modify. You can always feel free. I keep on changing. When I was doing my PhD, even in the second year, I changed. But my subject was the same. But the way I frame the topic, I use the word scalable. Scalable. So, but that time it was nice word, but scalable now is no more. It's outdated. In year 2000, the word scalable was interesting. So you need to have those kind of things. Like just I said, beyond branding. It sounds nice, right? When people read the thesis, if it's in the library, people read the thesis, wow, beyond branding, wow. Okay. Like implementation, beyond so you can challenge in your implementation of your ERP, IT implementation. It makes sense. So if you are interested in those kind of words, I have a couple of them. I don't mind coming to walking to the session and then maybe take for half an hour. You go through that sentence. Maybe you can catch one or two words from the sentence that inspires you. That's important. We want students to write a thesis topic almost similar to their friends. In the subject, run away from the subject. The subjects will be similar because those are all functional. IT is a functional subject. HR is functional. Marketing is functional. Then you can run away. That is what I call a subject. But the sentence, you can reframe it. You can reframe the sentence, according to what today the market is demanding. You carry a thesis, you go for an interview, or you go for an academic interview, or for industry interview. You carry a thesis. The moment people look at the title itself, oh, this guy, beautiful man, the thesis title. Even the guy now read through all the chapters, but looking at the title itself, it's marvelous. It should be the way, rather than, I don't know. Seriously, I was talking to a group of students last week. You give me titles like, customer satisfaction, delight customers, loyalty, these kind of words, and just try that. Seriously, I'm not. Effective implementation of IT solution based on tiring words. People have done that. You must have a good, solid collection. Beautiful. Our idea here in the school, in the university, is all your thesis. I want to make sure that your thesis comes up to be a great thesis. To go out there with other universities, compete with other universities. I shared with my another group of research. I think the group I shared, right? Master student thesis. Beautiful thesis. Well-written thesis. Okay? And I gave an A for the thesis. And that is actually what we call UK universities university paper. So Harvard Trial University. I gave an A. Okay? And the university said, I think they will never give you an A. We are working with them for the last 6 years. They have never given any student A for thesis. I said, I dare take the challenge. This is an A paper. They submitted the paper, went for the moderation in the UK university, Harvard Trial University. You know what the moderator, external examiner said? You remember? What are the words? You remember? I showed you all right. It's a groundbreaking research, And in my experience as an examiner, I have never given any student an A plus. This student deserves an A plus. That's how I want the research to be. You must come up because 3 PhD is one time in a lifetime. Don't tell me you're going to do one more PhD after this, right? One time, right? Why can't you for the first time you get it right? Yeah? Get it right at the first time. It must be a real groundbreaking research. Really something that people have not done. And your topic was actually health economics. Health economics. Which is a really pressing issue today, right? It's a groundbreaking research. And that's like examiner, Rice. That professor gave an A plus. I gave an A. The guy gave an A plus. Okay? You see, it's a groundbreaking research, and he put that as comment. I have yet to give any student an A plus in my years of experience. So this is why I say that, and we want MBSc students' PhD paper to be a groundbreaking research. Okay, so that we can keep it in a library for people to read and review, not in a library collection as collecting dust. No, it should be people actively picking up your volume, looking at your book, looking at your write-up, and referring that to be one of the solid, beautiful way of writing thesis. That should be the way. Okay. We want to revisit that. Maybe you have some thesis in the library. I will call back all those theses which I feel not called. I'll call back. And I want real solid thesis to be out. Okay. I think your Fraser has taken you through the online journal, right? Please use that facilities. If you want to download a paper in Emerald, it may cost you about 20 USD or some papers 50 USD. This is free for you. Given to you. Please make good use of it. Okay. Just make good use of it. And do not share it with your friends from other universities. Our student, don't give access to other universities and say, like a Santa Claus, you want to be Santa Claus? Don't do that, okay? It's for you, for the university construction, because the university will have to pay for it. Every paper downloaded, we have to pay for it. Okay? So please, make good use of the papers. It's okay, I will never limit you that you can only download 10 papers or 20 papers. No, you go ahead. As long as you are going through the reading process, as long as you are improving yourself, you're building a better literature review chapter 2, I am very happy to stand by you. I will never limit you to that. Okay? And then next you also have the student portal. How to the student portal ID? You all have a student portal ID? Yes. So please make use of the student portal ID, and then the supervisors be active on the email with the supervisor. Okay? I'll take you all through later on some session. Okay? How to work closely with the supervisor. Okay? The supervisor is also human being, right? They also have emotion, right? Sometimes they're very much involved with so much of work and so on, then they get emotionally down. You know, sometimes they just like simple things that you may not find it. You spend about 20-30 hours writing, and then it's suppose they just writes to you just 1 minute. Okay, I'll take note of it. You know? I don't get upset with that. As supervisor, we also have our ethics. We also have. You can't simply just take student supervise and then not giving you full attention. We also do that. We also have our ethics. We have just being this. We are not robots. Who will respond immediately. So we have to sit down and think before writing feedback. And especially people that supervise about 10 students, that is the guideline we want 10 students. Supervise students, you have a lot of challenges.
But the use requires to present any papers or qualification.
Okay. Some universities, before you graduate, you need to have your papers published. Some universities, the rules are not applied. However, moving towards a better quality paper, I suggest, I recommend, it's not a requirement yet. It's not a requirement yet. It's not a requirement. It's a requirement. Okay, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Mode A. Mode A. Full research. So for PhD, you need to publish 2 papers. Don't worry about it. I give you an assurance, not guarantee. I give you an assurance that every year we will have an international conference in NUST. That's why you can throw your paper. Sorry to use your throw. I put it. Okay? Yeah, you submit your paper. Our next conference is in July 23rd, right? On July 23rd, our international conference. So I give you the assurance that we will have international conference every year. So that is an opportunity for you to put in your paper. So what is leaving? I will use electronic. Yeah, electronic journal. Yeah. So you can submit to the. Yeah. And if your paper is good, we can progress the paper. You can reference to a journal. Okay. So no issue. I can also move towards that direction. So we give you the platform. They put the requirement, we give you the platform. Submitting to a journal, conference, our conference is not an issue. We will help you to correct it and then take the paper for the conference. Once your paper is submitted to the conference, you will have a proceeding number. That proceeding number will represent what Professor said, the 2 papers. So we never say that you need to have a paper published in international journal. We just say submit 2 papers. Right? It can be conceptual paper when you are in your early stage right now, literature review, right? So it can be a conceptual paper. Just conceptual paper. Later on, you can think about a paper, and but now just be conceptual. Okay. So we are guiding through the process. Any further questions? Okay, while you are here, any other topics of your that you find that you need to go through? That you want to find out in the agenda? Anything else that you feel that you're missing? We are not focusing for this colloquium of chapter 1, 2, and 3 because we have done, some of you have gone through the class. That is why we didn't take you through the one. Okay? But if you want, then you will need to take your notes. Okay, if you nothing much, then 5 minutes 12, we'll end the session for break, and then we have one. Yeah, session 1. Okay, the next session we have 1:30. Okay, thank you. Okay, okay.
Come again? Yeah, that's fine. I didn't bring this one because I have it with me here and always with me. Germany. Black Forest. So very close. Okay, so it's more like Let me introduce. Hi, actually, my friends are there. After the time, yeah, I'm going to listen to it. Yeah, I really want to listen to it, but then I have to and then the other lecture was it is a very what we okay, what you wrote there. Usually my I will see you later on. I can wait. Oh, you got it. All right, all right. All right, all right. So he's like, you got the mic. All right.
Number one and two, good for my
Already now, I guess it later. We went long. Still, that's one of the one of the three things even now discussing but in Malaysia, usually you do not, I mean, everything that you say out. Yes, that's my client sometimes. But I can one yeah, before they know all I see. And that's why I remember. I see. If you look at this, it's a but we understand it's in the mainland. So part of just all this then in the okay. That's expecting as well about 40 minutes from our place to and so you think so it's just that it can happen over and because more and more I mean every day, but tomorrow not the full day, Thursday, so the full day Friday. Okay, let's see the other one. But we can leave our stuff here, right? I think for like expenses, anyway, why is lunch? Today I trimmed it down. The books. That's okay. So where are you from? Portuguese. Yes. I even have been there for already. And I may go ahead still busy. towards the sure. I'm not German. I'm sorry.
I love it about that. I have a song like that.
Sorry. So we're gonna have to take.
Are you okay with Malaysia?
Yeah.
That's
usually,
usually
I know that
I hear it in Malaysia.
you will hear it when I introduce myself, that I can eat spicy. I even eat durian.
Durian,
That's how you survive in
oh.
Malaysia.
That's how we survive in Malaysia.
Let's go. So how come you have a French name, Louis?
I have updated my presentation. I have updated my presentation. So, will it be feasible? I will put my pen drive into the system, or are you going to connect it right now so that you can easily put it on the desktop?
Not sure. Because that's Dr. Reza. Okay?
And besides that, I need the portal address as well. Portal and
What the link are you putting? Portal is easy. You got the link, right?
I'm not talking about the director. I'm talking about the research and
Research and portals. You go to library.
okay. And what the third thing is, what about this? Yeah.
You didn't get the idea. But ask the registrar department.
Okay, from the religious part. Well, actually, I'm talking about the IT service. This guy, this one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
But you got the ID.
Yes, I have that.
Okay, I will take it for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
You also? I don't know. Wait.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bulan